Well, hello there, Minecrafters. This is a really hard video to make because today, I'm really sorry to tell you guys, but my dear friend Cold Fusion, he's not able to be here with our developer commentary because I just found out he died from fall damage. Cold Fusion!
Hello, I'm here.
That was terrible. Oh my gosh.
That was brilliant.
Cold Fusion here at the Devo. You've been resurrected. I'm so glad respawning is a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you open the chat, I've died a whole bunch of times recently.
I erased it. You died. So we are here today, back in the developers commentary for Diversity 3, talking about Escape Branch, everybody's favorite. Man, that went over. Man, when we started that, you know what? Like, how I was so hard on you going, there's too many jumping puzzles. Don't do this jumping puzzle. I don't like this jumping puzzle. It's not fun, all this. And you're like...
Wait, I wasn't making the parkour branch?
No. No. But then he came back. Everybody loves it. It's great.
Back at the very beginning, you were starting to tease some things about Diversity 3.
No.
And I wasn't part of the team.
No. I wasn't having anybody on the team. And then you're like, listen, I can do an escape branch. Here, I'll send it to you. And it was like a maze that you couldn't turn your head. And I'm like, that's kind of annoying. I don't know if people will find that fun. Anyway, let's go into the branch. But before we begin, explain your skin. Because I think you did back in Diversity 2, DevCom. But what are you?
I'm going with sort of a space nerd.
Oh, you do have eyes in there.
I do have eyes in here. This is a visor with a sort of headset built in.
I see. And
yeah,
a gamer.
I made this skin when I was like 14 years old.
14?
I've just stuck with it since.
Oh my gosh, you're a young kid. Anyway, so Cold Fusion was on Diversity 2 with me. And then I think eventually I just approached everybody on Diversity 2 and said, hey, do you want to join? And I don't remember when you came in. Was it like
I was I think the first person you reached out to.
Yeah.
Adrian
Adrian was the first one I asked because I needed a filter from him. And then maybe you were, I can't remember. Anyway. So Escape, everybody loves it. You go down here. Go down into this kind of, what is this called? Mine shaft thing? It's kind of like a little bit vanilla until you come over here and you're like, oh, this line goes like this and into here. Stand right on that track. Right there. On this track. And you press it. Boom! You go out like that. You didn't know that was going to happen, did you? And then you could take this over here. So that's a crazy mechanic that did not work in 1.14. I had to redo it, but it's basically an armor stand, a minecart being ridden by an armor stand. You can come over here now. You're allowed.
Are you sure?
You're here. I will just teleport you to me.
No, I got it. See?
Oh, you want to take the fun one? All right, there you go.
I want to go the fun path, man.
Okay.
Fun way.
All right. I'm still trying to get over that death that you had. It's really hard to pronounce that. Anyway, here we are in the escape branch, and what are these beds for? You saying there's four people who were in prison?
Well, if you take a look, it's meant to be a cozy prison cell.
Oh, that's right.
You gotta have nice cozy beds in the
my cozy prison cell. To claim the cyan wool, you must find a way to escape the cell. So originally you had a lever.
You have your beds and you have your carpet
with a bedrock. That's your signature.
Yeah.
And if you really want to escape, you just press this button. There.
Yeah, that's the end of the branch. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah. You had a lever out here at first, and originally you had the pumpkin guy, like the from Diversity 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it Creeper guy? I can't remember.
Yeah, the original concept for this branch I think it was a creeper head just as a placeholder, but the original concept for this branch was it was going to be a sequel to the story of the adventure branch from Diversity 2.
Oh.
So it was going to continue where that left off, where you found yourself with Professor Orange yet again.
You died.
Traveling.
You died at the end of Diversity 2. So what's next?
I'm trying to remember what my story explanation for that. I think it was you were transported to this dimension at the last second before you died.
Oh, I see. So it was a fake
Professor
death.
Orange saves you.
There we go. Okay, so
but you had to escape this dimension then to get back to your normal life.
So I said when we were testing it and you sent it to me, I said, no, we're not gonna have Professor Orange. We're gonna have Cold Fusion as the game troll. You're gonna go around, you're gonna make fun of the player, and I think that's why people love it, because they love watching you make fun of them. That's what it is. Oh, behold my creation!
I'm really good at that.
Cyan Dimension. You came up with these levitation poles. This was your idea, and then we put them in a few other places around the map because they're such a little interesting concept.
How this came to be is, of course, there's shortcuts inside the build itself
that no one uses,
that are vertical shortcuts, and I had those as ladders originally, and they would take a million years to climb all the way up and down. So I knew I needed to find a different solution for that, something that would some mode of vertical transportation that's a little more fun.
Originally, when you sent me, there's a lot of originalities here because we went through like 3 different renditions of this map, but you had sent me this in 1.12, and there are floating command blocks here, and the basic concept was kind of the same thing after you had redone a lot of stuff. And then I converted the whole thing over with 1.13, which was a major feat. But you had basically an entire working branch of 1.12. People have asked for that, you know. You gonna re-release this map in 1.12? Come get the secret. Come get the secret.
Okay. But I knew I needed a faster and more fun way of vertical transport. So I played with the idea of tractor beams.
Tractor beams?
Yeah, where
like they're farming and they're collecting wheat. Then they collect soybeans.
No.
And then they shoot a beam and they go
like a UFO.
Yeah. What's this? Who are these people? There's a lot of names here. Your friends, map makers. Did I lose you?
Sorry, I'm too busy playing with my head.
I'm sorry. Gosh, here. You want to be you? I'll be me? No, I don't want to be me. I don't want to be me. I want to be. I'll be
Ron.
Ron? Okay, I'll be Ron. Ron Smalek. Boom. Beautiful. How do I look?
I'll be Jagarbov.
Finally, dapper. Good choice. Good choice. If you are if you do this part, I would recommend being Cold Fusion. Anyway. Okay, so your tractor beams, you're talking about these little things over here, right? They shoot down.
Yeah, the little pads. Essentially, you'd stand here and you'd be sucked up into wherever you're going.
Yeah.
And I had some creepers.
Oh.
That would just spawn every now and then inside the beam, and it would travel up and then be killed at the top, just to show, like, you know, if you stand here, you'll be levitated up. But it still wasn't really clear where you had to stand to levitate. So that's why I ended up adding the poles.
The thing
when
is,
you're up and standing against the poles, you levitate up.
I've never seen anybody use those poles. Never. Have you ever seen anybody use them? Except for the beginning. I've never
seen them any other map. No, but I think they came out just very convenient for.
No. I mean, no, I've never seen anyone use them in our map.
Oh, these checkpoint poles?
Yeah, because they're always just up there.
I've seen some people use them, but not too often.
So what are these? How did you make these things?
So this, the background here, the backdrop. Well, one of my sort of specialties, if you will, is I love creating really epic backdrops from my maps.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
in my new map, Cloud Top Quest. I have
get it on the marketplace.
On the marketplace. I have some nice bubbly clouds surrounding the map.
Yeah.
And I think a really cool background like this, backdrop,
Yeah.
really really helps the build pop.
Yeah, for sure. I had to put the render distance so far to get this to show up on the trailer, by the way.
I
Otherwise,
can
this is
imagine,
good.
yeah.
So, but how are you making
Every
these? How are you making these swirls and circles and stuff?
Yep. It's a lot of different combinations of Adrian's filters.
Adrian Brightmore.
Yep, and MC
Yeah.
Edit.
Yeah.
Like for example, the surrounding dome, if you will, is a mandala filter.
Mandala.
That is then turned into a sphere.
Like Nelson Mandela?
Like mandala, like those things that you would make in your English, in your 6th grade English class.
I'm not in 6th grade, sorry.
Oh, that's right. You didn't take any English.
Mr. Teacher. Anyway, and up top you have these little inverted mountains, which are, you know what? If we go up there, they look really cool. I'm gonna go in Spectator. They are what, lava inside there, or no, glowstone inside there?
But these are sine waves.
Sine waves.
For the
Okay.
ceiling. Yep.
You
And it's just a
learned that in English
mathematical
class.
function that makes the nice ceiling.
Yeah, and I remember when I was looking at this, there's like something up inside there, like a house or something like that you put, and I don't think you meant to put it. It just ended up being there.
Yeah, so this ceiling I actually made at first for a CTM project I was working on, and I ended up scrapping it in that project and got to reuse it here because I felt it fit the overall vibe I was going for.
Okay, after you, sir. Into trial number 1. Puzzling push pillars. Your choice of words. I know there was a few things we had to do with this because if you don't teleport the player up when you hit that, the block like teleports into them or set blocks into them.
And it pushes them out. What's actually happening here is it sets the block, but it's also teleporting you up into the air 1 block. Otherwise, you'd be inside the block and it would push you down and you'd fall down to the floor here.
We had that problem.
And it's really awkward. Yeah.
Okay, and same with this one. There we go. And then we have you, because you're the or maybe not you, but the character Cold Fusion, who's like the all-seeing eye. I'm gonna put you through these trials. Kind of a GLaDOS, right? And teleports away when you get up there. Whoops.
I mean, is that any different from the real Cold Fusion?
I gotta say I've never seen you and him. No, I have. I just saw them in the same room. Oh, that joke didn't work. Okay. So you hit that lever. This was an interesting little puzzle here because it's like you just find the levers. That's all you do. Oh, and there's a head over there. Oh, somebody watching us still.
Oh.
Who could
so
that? Oh, he's gone.
The primary inspiration for these puzzles was I think I had just finished playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. So my goal for these puzzles was to have, start with some kind of mechanic and then build on it in lots of different interesting ways.
And that's like probably the best way to make a puzzle. This one here, you don't really need to. You can jump over this gap.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So this one, I know you made it so you couldn't quite. I think you can do it in creative, but in adventure, let's go. I'm gonna go to adventure mode. You can't quite reach it unless you do the little lever trick again, the repeating thing. As soon as you click it, this guy goes teleporting away. And he's kind of like, did you have, what was that show when we were growing up? Polka Dot Door?
Through the polka dot door, this is the time.
Did you have that? Or is that a Canadian thing?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, man. There was always this. Oh, this is what I was talking about. If you go off the side, you teleport back. I made those. Just this thing where they had like this crazy giraffe/dinosaur thing that every time they'd be like, "Oh, I missed him again."
Polkaroo! But Polkaroo.
Polkaroo was here? And I missed him again.
That's what you're like. They call him the Polkaroo. Anyway.
Yeah, this room has changed a lot.
Yeah.
over time. It was originally the hardest push pillar trial, where you had like 4 different pillars that you'd have to set to different heights to get all the way up.
Uh-huh.
And I think the original version of the map, one of your main criticisms of it is that the puzzles got too hard.
I was trying to keep the kids in mind, but I think the balance is really well now. There's an interesting thing here when you come up with this idea here. We have a creeper, but there's also a block that pops up.
Yep.
To kind of look like you're being pushed.
With the push pillar theme.
Oh, that's why. I thought you were just like, something's got to push you up.
There actually has to be 2 creepers here. That's why you hear the double explosion. The first one bumps you up just a tiny bit. Because you don't take as much explosion knockback when you're grounded. And then the second creeper sends you flying.
And we come to the glorious river room. There is a what do you call it? A importance or significance to glorious, right? And why don't you explain that?
Yep. So each of the rooms that you come across, each of the checkpoint rooms, are named after one of my previous maps.
Right.
And this was Q-Magnet's idea.
My idea?
It was. That was your idea.
No, it wasn't. It was your idea.
They were little prismarine break rooms.
Oh, did I? Oh, but I didn't come up with the Gloria. You come up with the Gloria. I just said, I think originally you had like a checkpoint button or something like that. But anyway.
You were talking about how you'd like each of the checkpoint rooms basically to be like rooms that you could live in.
Okay.
And you came up with the idea of theming them over after previous maps.
What's with the dirt and the podzol?
That's from my map Gloria.
Oh, okay.
Corruption.
Mixing it in.
That's slowly overtaking, yeah. So it's all sort of themed after specific maps, and you can see some of them here. You can get Gloria and the Burrow Mansion on the marketplace.
Download.
Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge.
Bye. At one point, there was like caution, machinery, and creeper, something weird in your. And then you sent me a message and said, "Hey, I think I want to put in little arcade cabinets."
Yep.
And you built the thing. And then I was like, "Oh, brilliant! We can put your maps on them because I don't think you had anything on there." So I used Texel's filter again, grabbed a screenshot, put it on there, and made these little joysticks, which are a lever and a see if I can see it. Yeah, there's. I don't know if you can quite see it, but there's, I think, 2 armor stands in there. One is a acacia button, and the other one is a lever, both being held by the armor stand. And then, if you are, let's see, Ron, Jig, and CDF Demand, you just skip this button entirely, and you walk in here, and then you're like...
you try to use the flowers.
No, jumping. Oh, I can't jump. Well, what do we do? And then you walk by this button, and you go, no, it can't be that. And then you grab a mushroom. And you grab another mushroom, and so you have 2 mushrooms. And then what you do is you throw the mushroom on there, and then you walk up here, and you're like, oh, that's how you do it. Then you throw another mushroom down like that, and you're like, how would you do this in multiplayer? And then you call Q-Magnet to say, what's going on? How do we do this with mushrooms? And I say, what are you talking about? What mushrooms? What are you talking about? There's a button in the other room that you broke off, that we can't do this map anymore. Put it on there. It has to be an oak button. And you get the glorious bow. The arrow never gets any credit. I think I put that joke in. The arrow never gets any credit, even though the arrow is the one that's technically being infinite, I think.
Yep.
When I tested this, I thought it was a jumping puzzle, and I was like,
"Hey,
come on,
you're playing it in creative mode, and I had it so the jump boost, the negative jump boost effect is only given to people in adventure mode."
Oh, there's so much jumping in this. I don't think we need jumping there. We gotta figure out a better way to challenge them than jumping. See, I don't think we need the jumping stuff. I think they just have to figure out to move this thing around. More jumping. Too much jumping. Oh, there's just too much jumping in this. Too much jumping.
You were playing this and complaining about, there's just too much jumping.
Too much jumping.
The parkour branch.
And then I finished the whole map, and you're like, that was like one of my favorite puzzles I've ever made. You're not supposed to jump. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Then you come to this little subtle nod that I don't know if people noticed, but I thought it was brilliant when you told me about it. You look at the foot. Look at that foot over there. You'll notice it's halfway on the orange block. Now it's halfway on the blue block. And we are kind of trying to hint that this is how you're going to solve this puzzle coming up.
Yep.
All right, so let's go across like this. So basically, you guys know how to do this, but if you're standing on, you can stand over halfway on a block in Minecraft, and then you can, look at me. I'm not even on the block. Then you can hit it, and yeah, and then he walks away like that. And if you fall off the side, you start over here. I come up with the idea of changing the creeper color. The thing that bothers me, though, is it's not symmetrical.
Does it bother you? There's a staircase here, so it's visually balanced.
It helps, but it's not like I'm not gonna redesign this room to make it push over. I think I tried to like bring the wall in, but it messed everything up, and it does bug me.
Just call it. Just say that it's artistically off center.
It's artistically off center. Is this like a fan? What is this?
It was meant to be sort of a fan, yeah.
I changed all these to this map is actually 1.12, and then we convert it immediately to 1.13 or 1.14, depending on what it is. The master map is in 1.12, so I have a command block that automatically updates these trapdoors as soon as you enter the branch, because they're oak trapdoors before we had those.
Oh, that's right. And you don't have acacia trapdoors in 1.12.
No. How come here? There's no hidden thing. We should have put a hidden thing behind there. You didn't do the cold fusion hidden painting trick.
I blame the map director.
This was the original quote unquote antagonist. No, I think the first one was the creeper, and then this guy, or was it the creeper and then you, and this guy was just here? I can't remember. What was it?
It was just all Professor Orange encouraging you to go along.
No, you changed it to creeper at one point. I remember. We had a creeper.
There's a creeper head, I think, as a placeholder.
Oh, okay. All right, so Professor Orange, this is from Diversity.
I'm quite enjoying the stories you're coming up with.
I know, gosh. Diversity 2. Bam. What just happened? Well, I didn't break that. What the heck just happened? I must have pressed the wrong button. Anyway. Why, thank you. I do enjoy. I don't know what happened there. Oh, one thing I forgot. The way that we do the no jumping, this was something you came up with. If you're in the area, you have a jump boost right here, and I think it's, what, 128? Effect?
I don't remember what number it is.
Jump boost. I think it's 1 second. I think it's 128. So that's how the command works, and it's on a repeating command block. And you can make it so they can't jump.
128 is so large that it overflows and ends up keeping you from jumping.
It's not quite that though, because I think jump boost 256 you can still jump. It's like a halfway point. Somebody has to go test it and let us know if it works.
Now let's be Draco the dragon. And we wiggle and twist.
Pokeroo, pokeroo.
Did you hear that sound?
Pokeroo, pokeroo.
It sounded like the pokeroo.
Pokeroo, pokeroo. Pokeroo, pokeroo.
It is the pokeroo.